It's fine. It's fine. We're good. Welcome to an all new episode of the No Rules Podcast. I'm Aaron Hilton, and as always, joined by my main man, Malik Smith.
My
Malik,
man,
what's happening, brother?
not much, bro. How you feeling?
I'm in Mansion and Benzes as always, man. How'd your draft go, man? Did Jeremy set you up for success?
We nailed it. I'm not gonna lie, we nailed it.
Killed it. First pick
You know,
was definitely Justin Fields then, right? That was the first one off the board.
I straight out the gate. Yeah, straight out the gate. Nah, I feel like I put together a pretty good team. I feel pretty confident. So confident that I'm like, actually, I don't. I have such a good team. I don't actually know who to play this week. Like,
Yeah, like maybe you
I'm
should put in an application to be an NFL GM. Like I hear the Raiders might have an opening at the end of the year,
hey,
given the moves that some of the moves that Spytech has made
I can make
in the
some
last
magic
couple of
happen.
weeks.
I can make
I
some magic
appreciate
happen
it,
over
man.
there.
Like we need a return to relevance because signing blast from the past and not signing the best receiver you have on the team and trading a fifth round pick for a backup. It's just it's been brutal, brother.
Mm.
But if you haven't noticed, if you've been living under a rock, man, the NFL season is back. It's here. It starts tonight. We're here live on YouTube with the No Rules podcast. Wanted to come to you guys early enough so we can get some of these NFL takes off while they're still fresh on top of the mind. Malik, what does the NFL season bring to you? You have like a unique memory of it? Do you have like a thing that signifies, hey, NFL season is back? How does it make you feel? What is your connection with the NFL and football?
I mean, if we going all the way back, like early teenage years, I would say.
Yeah.
It's definitely a combination of school starting back up, Madden, the Madden cover. back before like they told you the Madden cover and like after Super Bowl. Like this is when like you found out like a week before the show was gonna come out. And then I don't know. You know what? You know what really just popped in my mind when you asked that question? It's like I remember I used to get hype watching like the NFL, like the old NFL films, like and they had the song and everything, and it would just be like some random like, and I'm like, this is so great. Like I'll watch highlights of like football from 20 years ago
And the
because I'm like,
perfect
I
tight
love it.
shot of like the spiral from the
Yeah,
quarterback
yeah,
passing from the pot. Yeah.
dog. I used to just I would like literally have to get like amped up. It's like all I want is football. Like I used to be that kid. Definitely in the definitely in the teenage years. Like so, for me this time of year was just like it's like, oh man, I gotta go back to school. But it's like, yo, football's about to start back up. Like, great. Like I know what I'm doing on Monday. I know what I'm doing on Sunday. Like it's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's hope, man. Like it's that's really what it's been for me because especially being a Raiders fan, like that's all it can mean because in a
Mm.
couple of months your soul's gonna get snatched from your body in one way or another. So, it
You
just
don't you don't
signifies
believe in
hope.
the Pete Carroll
No, I don't. I
Smith
don't
combo.
believe in them at all. Actually, I think it's going to go horribly. Not as bad as Bill Belichick's debut with Carolina, which brought a smile to my face, but I think it'll be pretty bad. Like I think everybody's thinking, I'm obviously Vegas doesn't think too much about it. I think they're over under for wins this year is like 6.5 or something like that. So it's not like people believe them to win, but I think that they'll be right around that. I think it's a fair line from Vegas to say the least. But my biggest memory with football um is really that tuck rule game. It's my first time that I ever cried over sports. I was still relatively new to being like a real deal sports fan, and my team is playing for an opportunity to go to the AFC Championship game against the Patriots. I think the Steelers were the team that we were going to play at the time, and I felt really good about. I wouldn't even think about the Patriots. I'm like, these niggas suck. We're about to beat them. And then like the later the game got, it was like, all right. And then a clear fumble was called an incomplete pass. And I was like, well,
Mm.
that's bullshit. And anybody that knows me knows I grew up in New England, so my whole family is Patriots fans. And my aunt Maria, who grew up in the house with me, she just liked to twist the knife. She didn't care that her 12-year-old nephew was probably teetering. It wasn't a full cry at the time. I was more whining about a bad call, and then she twisted the knife, and I had no escape. So I just the tears just started flowing. So that's what it meant to me. But I was right back on the horse. We traded John Gruden that offseason, and then we were right back at it in the fall. And that was my first taste of like what it felt like to get slapped down, and then to have that little bit of hope for the following season. Like, all right, we're gonna be back, and when we back, we're gonna make right what was wrong with us, 7-8 months ago.
I love that every start of the football season you think about the tuck rule. Like that's such a
I can't. That
it's like
is
why are you
football.
such
It's
a
synonymous.
masochist?
It's synonymous, man. Like it's like that was
The
a
game
really
happened
big.
in the playoffs. Why are you
Can
thinking
you
about that at the
imagine
beginning of the
if you're
season?
like a Giants fan and well, you
My
are a
team
Giants
won two
fan, but
Super
can you
Bowls.
imagine being a Giants fan and the first game of your fandom or like the first real inflection point in your first year of fandom is the David Tyree catch? Like imagine that. Now it's the other side of it because it went good for you, but
Yeah,
like imagine what that would do for you as a fan. Like that's all you would be able to think about with football. So like for me, like I don't remember like the buzz of signing a young gun like John Gruden to be your head coach. I don't remember, the controversy of making an old veteran like Rich Gannon your quarterback and turning him into an MVP. I don't know any of those things, but I know when I was 12 years old, being in a house full of Patriots fans and going through the most debilitating and crippling loss in my franchise's recent history. Um, and maybe ever in the history of sports, or at least in the history of NFL football. So it's an indelible mark on the history of my franchise, and it's never gotten better. They haven't given me anything to replace that moment in my brain. So until they do,
that's a good point. Yeah, I guess if the worst thing that happened to me as a sports fan launched the next dynasty, I'd probably feel pretty terrible about it too.
and then
Is that
and then
twisting
he
the knife?
owns
I'm not
it.
sure.
Then he's a part owner of your team. That is twisting the knife.
Yeah, that's actually
That's
that's
imagine
just
he comes back and owns
that's
your
just
team.
violently pulling the knife out and shoving it
It's
back
just
in one good time. Yeah.
Yeah, like what did Malcolm X say? If somebody stabs you in the back with a 6-inch knife and pulls it out 5 inches, that's not progress. You know what I mean? So I just don't.
Please don't quote Malcolm X in this instance. I don't think he would appreciate that.
I felt the parallels were there. The parallels were there. It was right.
Plymouth Rock landed on us, goddamn it. Oh man,
That's
that's
right,
funny.
man. A little Detroit red in there, but I
Yeah.
mean, no, it's gonna be a great season, man. I'm really looking forward to it. But just getting into week one, we don't have to go like week by game. Who's gonna win this? Who's gonna win that? Um, First and foremost, with tonight's game, I guess we can look at this one a little bit separately. We got Cowboys versus Eagles on NBC, the official return of the NFL. As always, the reigning Super Bowl champion leads off the following season, usually at home. So the Eagles get that right in a division matchup. Cowboys, not too interesting of an off season. Nothing really happening over there. I
I don't really
should be a
recall
pretty
anything about
boring game tonight, honestly, if if memory
it.
serves.
I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I like as bad as you have it as a Raiders fan, right?
Don't even try it. I see
I'm
where
just
like,
saying.
nah,
But okay,
no.
let me put this into the proper context from the standpoint of every year there's like this hope that just springs eternal, right?
Hmm.
Like once everything I mean the dudes have made entire like quote unquote comedic careers off of this doing little skits about being a Cowboys fan.
Yeah.
So like
Shout out
I
Scooter
it
Magruder.
yeah, right. Like, but I mean, so you guys have it bad, right? But like, your hope is more just like, I hope we're good. Like, the Cowboys fans legitimately think they're going to win the Super Bowl every year, and every year they either fall completely flat from the beginning or they like actually show a little something, and then like it doesn't happen. So it is pretty funny to get to see them in the wake of what has happened in the in the past week as far as the Cowboys and them trading pretty important players. Shout out to the city of Dallas, by the way. Just caught a
Just a random
2025
shout
that
out. Yeah, hey man.
it's just
I ain't never
we
gonna
just need
turn
a
down
hug.
a shout
The
out to
whole
the
city
city.
need a
Yeah,
hug.
man. Yeah,
but
man. It's
yeah,
been a
man.
tough couple of months for Dallas for sure. 2025 is a
Yeah.
year to forget.
Yeah, it's been a tough one. I am curious to see how they come out. Motivated. Obviously, you're playing division rival. It's a huge game every year when they play each other. Every time I should say they play each other. As a Giants fan, I'm like, I gotta watch these two motherfuckers. But I'm just like, I think my love for Saquon Barkley ended when he won the Super Bowl, and I was like, okay, congrats,
Yeah.
man, good job. Now it's
Cool.
like,
I did my thing as
yeah,
a
yeah.
fan where I rooted for you to get it. Now you got it, and now it's back to fuck you type shit. So,
Screw you, brother.
yeah, screw you. My bad.
Yeah. Oh no, you can please be
Yeah,
more explicit because that's how I
yeah.
feel. But I think this would be an awesome game. Not gonna lie, I think this would be a really good game. This is a great way to kick off the NFL season. I'm not gonna lie. Shout out to the NFL for putting this
Yeah.
one as the matchup
Did you
for
did
opening
you
night.
see the preseason or the regular season hype video going into week one for the Eagles that they put out on their Instagram?
No, because I would never watch some filth like that. But go ahead, tell me about
Shit.
it.
Well, as we know, one of our good friends, Jason Dumas, shout out 6ABC in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
He covers the team, but we are in a few different group chats, and he sent it to the group chat. Or no, actually, our friend Terrell sent it to the group chat, which is funny that it wasn't Jason sending something Philadelphia Eagles related. But it was just like he was like, "Damn it, they're gonna repeat." And I was like, "Whatever." I didn't get a chance to watch it until like late yesterday. I was like, "Damn, this shit like it got me in the feels." You know what I mean? Like this is what it's like to have a good team and players that are engaged and like ready to come back, and all of your best players are actually paid and they're not you know navigating a trade request in the middle of the season and all that kind of stuff after leading your team in receiving, Jacoby Myers. But like whatever, it is what it is. This is the life of being a Raiders fan versus it's literally everybody else in the sport. So no, I mean it got me hyped for the season. It got me ready to get going. I can't think of a better way to start the season than a rivalry like this. And I mean, it's fun to watch the Cowboys lose. I don't think they have any chance of winning this game, emotionally, physically, any of that. There's just no way. They might come out and score, maybe get an interception or a big stop in the first drive to be like, we didn't need Micah, and then it's going to become very clear um,
They probably should
that
have kept
that
him.
it's two different classes of team on the field.
Well, listen, as Jerry Jones said, they needed to be able to stop the run. So
No, well,
I think it's like, how smart are you, Aaron? Did you run a team for 30 years into the ground?
well, he did navigate whether to varying levels of credit depending on how you want to give it to him, but under his stewardship and ownership, the team that he owned won 3 championships in 4 years.
Sure.
So say what needs to be said about the decision making process and who gets credit for what, and the Herschel Walker trade and the hiring of Jimmy Johnson, and all of those things as we reminisce on that Cowboys porn that was the Cowboys documentary. Um, he did do that. That is something that he did. And I have been through 2 owners, or an owner and the owner's son,
Mhm.
now as a Raiders fan. And I've seen one trip to the Super Bowl and we got our asses beat in the home state of California. So it was, I'd rather switch with any Cowboys fan because at least I will have seen my team win a Super Bowl. So
Sure, yeah. I mean, there's other teams that have won the Super Bowl and haven't like been as depressing as the Cowboys. But if you want to switch with
that's
them,
fair.
I say feel
I'd
free.
switch with the Giants too. If it makes you feel better, Malik,
No, no,
I
I
would
wasn't
I would
asking you.
definitely
You don't.
switch. I will switch. I will switch with the Giants fans.
we don't.
I'm holding
We don't
firm on
have
the
to do
fuck
the
New
switch.
England though. Fuck
Yeah,
the Patriots
sure.
forever. I don't care. I will
Okay.
never switch
It's
with
too
them.
much winning for you.
Yeah, I love. Yeah, well, you got to have a limit somewhere. I draw the
Yeah.
line at 5 championships. Once they went to 6, it got excessive. So
Yeah. Listen, man. I understand why you would say that, but
yeah.
yeah, he did win 3 out of 4. Not taking that away
Hmm.
from him. We talked about the doc before the show. I actually quite enjoyed the good parts of it, like the good years. It was actually fun seeing them do their version of the Last Dance. To be like, yeah, man, like back in the day we used to run things. It's like, yeah, they actually did. Like
Yeah.
they really really did. But
Some might argue it
it's
makes it more sad when
kind
you look
of,
at that. Yeah. You're
yeah.
like,
It's
yeah,
like, so
well,
y'all couldn't even get
30 years
close.
ago, we were the shit. They'd be like, well, that's not the flex you think it is, buddy. I
Yeah,
hate to tell
yeah.
you.
I mean, it's a
Uh,
flex, but it's like it's a flex in that time. Like you got like
exactly.
your fans currently, who if you're a 15-year-old kid and you're a Cowboys fan,
Mhm.
I don't even what Tony
Yeah.
Romo, I
I
guess,
mean,
is
it's like
probably your.
it's like being a Yankees fan, and you're talking about 27 rings.
Oh
You know,
wow, wow,
oh,
wow. Okay,
no,
all
oh,
right.
my bad.
Let's not be let's not
Just
let's not be
figured it
disrespectful.
seemed
Let's
like
not be
relatable
disrespectful when
content.
you're looking up to us in the standings, buddy. All right.
We're actually even in the standings. I don't know if you
Well, you're
checked.
still looking up to us. Okay.
No, we're not. We own the tiebreaker because we beat you all but 1 game this year. Do you remember
I
that?
thought we
Or
were
two
talking about
games?
football here.
Oh,
This is a football podcast.
because about to say we could revisit that last 4 game series in
Hey,
the Bronx if you really
we'll see.
want to.
We'll see in 9 games.
Okay.
However many games it is, 10 games.
Yeah, I mean that's
Yeah.
probably when you officially lose hope for winning the division and have to hold on to that wild card. Hold on to those wild card hopes, buddy.
Okay. Okay.
But you got to get through the Blue Jays first. That offense looks ridiculous. But yeah, we talking football here. Let's give a quick overview. Like we said, we're not going to go matchup by matchup. We're not going to keep you guys here 45 minutes to an hour. We want to get you able to give you a little aperitif, a little amuse bouche before your NFL season gets started. But what things for week 1 what is the one thing that you are looking most forward to? It can be as simple as just having football back, or as minute as one step closer to the start of the Jackson Dart era for you.
It's funny. I mean, I'll do a non-Giants related one because I'm not super interested in the. Not, I'm not interested in the Giants, but it could kind of go either way. And it for the Giants, I think it's like each week I'm gonna be like, okay, what do we have here? What do we have here? Like I don't really know what this team is gonna be 6 weeks from now, let alone at the end of the season. Um, I'll be honest, this is like a super random one, but I kind of just want to see Cam Ward play number one pick. I maybe it's just me being like, if he's really good, then I could be like, man, we had him, and I could just like do this imagination thing. I just thought in the preseason he kind of like looked intriguing. Obviously, I liked him in college. Number one picks, I tend to struggle in their first year. Number one overall pick quarterbacks, I should say, tend to struggle in their first year. Tend to struggle in their first game. But I just, if I'm watching something that's like not I love Mahomes, big Mahomes boy here, so I'm gonna be watching the Brazil game. Um, there's the Rodgers going back to the Jets, whatever. There's other storylines that are interesting. Packers Lions is going to be a great game. But if I'm just picking like a random, like non big storyline thing, like I really want to see Cam Ward and like, you know, if he's better than the options that they had last year, which you'd have to be like, it doesn't take much to be better than what they had last year. Let's be honest.
Mhm. I think for me, that's actually really good. I along with you, I'm on board the Cam Ward fan train for sure. And obviously, I have my Raiders proclivities. I lie to myself every year and say that, I don't have high hopes for the Raiders, but deep down I do. I want to see them win. Obviously, as any fan would. I don't believe that they will, but I would love to see them win. But I think the thing I look forward to seeing the most is actually probably it's a tie. But I'm gonna just go ahead and pick the one that might be the least expected. I'm gonna go with um, the quarterback for the Carolina Panthers, man. I
Oh, Bryce
really
Young.
want to see Bryce. Yeah, I want to see Bryce because he ended the season so well. His first year, it was up and down. He got benched for Red Rocket for a few weeks. Then he was forced back into action after he got hurt. And he finished the season really, really strong. He played some really good football towards the end of the season. Now he's going up against another quarterback who could be looking for a new job in Trevor Lawrence, who's really been to varying levels of success. He has made the playoffs, but he hasn't really necessarily lived up to the hype of being a first round talent like the way that he was, and the next coming of Peyton Manning, as people were so quickly to anoint him when he was at Clemson. So I want to see Bryce Young, and if the end of last year is going to be more of a preview of what we're going to see this season, or if it's a return, a regression to the mean. Is it going to be a return to the same thing? Because it's no secret. We say it on here all the time. I root for everything black, and that includes black quarterbacks. I want to see the black quarterbacks do well.
It's true.
Um, and Bryce Young, I think, is one of those guys that what we weren't too sure. He was undersized.
Yeah.
He went to a program that doesn't necessarily put out NFL quarterbacks at high rates in Alabama. So I would like to see him continue the turnaround and bring that Panthers franchise back to where the last black quarterback had it in Cam Newton, which was in the Super Bowl or at least playoff contention.
I mean, those are big shoes to fill, obviously, literally and
Literally,
figuratively. But
yeah, he can't fill those shoes. He's about 7 inches
yeah,
short.
yeah. Yeah, I like what you said about rooting for everybody black quarterbacks because I don't know if you posted you might have posted this online that there's
Yeah,
16
16
black
black quarterbacks
quarterbacks
starting the year. Yep,
starting week
half the
one.
half the league has a starting black quarterback, and
It's a
some of them
beautiful
even got a
thing.
backup black quarterback.
It's a truly beautiful thing. Yeah, I mean he played really well. Like I think Carolina could be like a fun team. I don't think they'll be a good team, but I think they could at least a fun offense. Um, so if he's good, right? Like if he's what we saw those last however many weeks,
Mhm.
then I think they could be a really fun offense to watch. But yeah, man, I think the 16 black quarterback thing kind of underrated. Like I feel like it should be a bigger story, but maybe in this climate, it's probably like this one maybe doesn't we don't want to catch anyone's attention, and then
Well, it's
it becomes
getting
a
to the
DEI.
point. I think the biggest story of that is like how much of a surprise it came to even people like you and me who follow the sport religiously, are
Mhm.
black ourselves, and obviously went HBCU grads. I feel like we're more hyper aware of accomplishments like this among black quarterback, but it's just not something you really think about. And then you see the graphic or the meme post, and you're like, wow, half the league is a starting black quarterback, and like
Mhm.
most of them aren't just starters by default. Most of them like really earn the job and are expected to be the franchise guy at least for the next year or two. So um it's and that in and of itself is something because not so long ago, not even 20 years ago, Michael Vick, or no, 21 years ago actually, yeah, I think was it 04, 20, 24, 25 years ago, Mike Vick, first ever black quarterback drafted number one overall, was that 2001, I want to say.
Oh, one, yeah.
um yeah, so I mean, you have, it's not that recent of a history when it was controversial to take a black quarterback in the first overall, let alone in the first round. And the Falcons being ones to make history there. To a fact, 2.5 decades later, here we are with half of the league is starting a black quarterback now. And your team, I think, Russie's probably what, the second black quarterback to start a season, as your lead signal caller. I think it was like Gino and then him. I don't know if y'all's.
Gino didn't start. Gino was the
He
first
wasn't week
quarterback.
one. Okay.
He didn't start week one. Yeah, Gino,
Okay.
he started, but I think he was the first black quarterback to start a game for the Giants, but he didn't
Yeah.
start week one. I'm trying to remember if Tyrod Taylor. I think he
Yeah.
came
That's
in
a good.
after Daniel Jones got hurt.
Yeah. I don't know if he started
Um,
week one either. It
so he
might
didn't.
be
Yeah, so
Russie.
yeah,
He-
Russ Wilson probably is the first black quarterback to start week one for the Giants.
yeah. I mean,
Which
that's,
is, and then you got Jameis back there too,
hey
just
man,
being Jameis, yo.
the man.
Honestly, I'm not gonna
Pre-game
lie, yo.
speech God. Like,
Yeah,
protect
like
Jameis at all costs.
not this might be the first time you get the backup quarterback doing the pregame speech because he's
And
getting,
everyone's okay with it.
yeah. Everyone's just like, yo, actually, like this is what it's supposed to be, y'all. Like, let's just
Yeah,
let it happen.
it's fun. He leans into his personality. It's
Yeah.
great. I love this era of Jameis. And I think he said something quite profound. Is that in the preseason they were doing an interview with him, and he was talking about like he didn't dream big enough. His
Mm.
dream was just to make it to the NFL, and he did that. And he did that as the number one overall pick. But um, he didn't dream of having a 10-year career or winning an MVP or winning a Super Bowl. He just wanted to make it. And I think that's something important and profound for the future generations, especially of black quarterbacks, to hear and to really take in and understand from somebody that is seen as kind of like a class clown or kind of like the goofball guy or the NFL dad who's not shy at being poked fun at, or anything like that for just being lovingly corny. He said something that had so much gravitas to it because like a lot of times we don't dream big enough, and sometimes we feel like because of the conditions that we're coming out of or the conditions we want to bring our families out of, that we don't set our path or our goals into a stratosphere because we feel like that invisible ceiling is kind of crashing down upon us, and how dare we have the audacity to believe that we could be something greater, that we could have something more. And I didn't want to pass that opportunity to give a shout out to Jameis, because that's a very important thing to hear, and it's an important thing to hear from somebody that doesn't have his career past him. He's still in his early 30s, but that's an important thing to hear from somebody who's still entrenched in his career
Yeah.
and who may not get another opportunity to be a franchise quarterback. But we saw with the Raiders starting quarterback this year, anything can happen. You never know. But it was great to hear from him for sure.
Yeah, it's a really good point, man. I mean, when you think about success, right? Like in any arena, like you're always dreaming of like, oh man, I want to do X, Y, and Z, but you don't think about like, oh, I want to keep doing X, Y, and Z for X amount of years. Some people do. I think those are the people who are like, I want to be the greatest whoever, blah blah blah, right? You're super overachievers in any sport. Um, they kind of have that mentality because they're like, oh, I know I'm going to the league. Like somebody like
Right.
Deion Sanders, right? Like you know what I mean?
He just
Like
know. He,
he just
he
know
was
he's
saying,
like,
who did he say the Lions gonna have to put me on layaway? That's all.
yeah. When you have that much confidence and that much swag, it's just like it's crazy. And it's funny because Jameis kind of does have that. So it's interesting to hear him say something like that. Like you would think that he came in with the expectation that he was going to be here for the long haul. But I mean, everybody's situation is different, right? So sometimes it's just like, yeah, I'm exuding all that confidence, but like I'm just trying to make it.
Yeah.
We all think, I think we take, we take for granted some of the few amount of people who have been successful for such a long time. LeBron, like we make fun of LeBron now, right? Like, you know what I mean? But it's like the dude was not supposed to be this good for this long. We weren't even sure if he was gonna be this good. It was just like
He
maybe,
wasn't supposed to be this good this quick. I mean, it's easy to say the chosen one, Sports Illustrated cover when
Yeah.
he's 16 and all that. That's great, but like we had seen so many times number one overall picks or first round picks out of high school struggle until they figured out the man's game. You were a kid coming into a man's game. Well, LeBron at 18 figured it out, and not only figured it out but dominated it. His first game in the league as an 18-year-old against the Sacramento Kings on ESPN, or was it TNT? One of the two. I know it was the national broadcast game. I believe it was
TNT,
it might have been TNT. And he scores 20.
Yeah.
18 years old. Back when 20 was a big deal. You know what I mean? Now it's kind of like, you got bench niggas coming off scoring 20.
Yeah.
But, 20 used to be a big deal, kids, and it wasn't that long ago. But
But no, to your point, I mean, it's like we see that and we think like, oh, it must be that easy. And I think some of the younger athletes, they come in and they think like, oh, it must be easy. It's like, well, obviously not, because if it wasn't, everybody be freaking doing it. And you probably should have picked that up from the fact that it was tough to get to the league. But for some people, maybe they don't see that because they're just focused on their goals. But yeah, I love this era of Jameis sort of being a sage. You know what I mean? Which is really strange because it's like you went from like, oh man, this guy could be good, to this guy's kind of up and down, to now he's just a meme eating dubs, and then now it's just like, oh, this dude actually, like, he's got some experience, and like he got a couple lessons that he could impart on these young guys,
Right.
which it's a beautiful arc.
Exactly, man. It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. I'll say, like, let's give one more before we fully get off of football. What's one general outlook that you expect to happen by season's end? What's one thing you think we'll learn about the league or about the players or an individual towards the end of the year?
I think Patrick Mahomes is coming back, bro. I think we might get one more of those like, hey yo, y'all must have forgot. Y'all must have forgot what I could do with this thing. You know what I'm saying? Sidearm it, you know what I mean? Drop it in the breadbasket. Like, I hope, because I really enjoy watching him be like really good at football in the last couple of years. He's been good, but like he hasn't been the same as like those early years. It was just like, this guy's freaking amazing. I feel like they will have a year like that. I don't know if it's going to lead to a Super Bowl, but I feel like he'll have a year like that.
To a similar end for me, same team, different player. White Kelsey is coming for next, because he hears what y'all saying, and it is all funny and all valid. But White Kelsey, the new the Taylor Swift era, Mr. Swift, soon to be.
Yeah.
Congratulations to those two.
We call this the
he's
red
coming.
era.
Yeah,
it's his
the red era.
I'm not a Swiftie, so I actually don't even really know what that means. I'm just saying.
Yeah, me either. Yeah, I mean, this is the first. This is literally the first of me hearing it. I'm like, all right, red. I'm gonna just accept it. Yep, red era sounds about right. But yeah, like this is the time, because a lot of people have something to say where it's like, well, he's kind of on the back end of his career. He's washed up. He doesn't have it. Black Kelsey, when he was doing all the dance moves and he was hitting them folks and all that stuff in the end zone and gyrating and everything and had the low fade with the beard, like he was just a different guy. And now that he's got the finally coiffed, a corporate banker look, he hasn't really. He's played like one. This is probably the year. I think he's got one more glory year left in him. And I think this is it. Because I think this is going to be the year when Travis reminds folks why he's the first ballot Hall of Famer, why he's one of the best tight ends of all time behind Shea and Gronkowski, and what made him so excellent and made him one of the top weapons in NFL history. I think we get 1,000 yards out of Travis Kelce this year, Mr. Swift, as we will so affectionately call him.
It's funny. I was gonna say like, oh, how much Taylor Swift do you think we're gonna see like at the games?
Well, once she gets pregnant, we'll see a lot.
Dog, it's
happening.
There's just gonna be a small like corner of the TV with a camp like at that, because at this point they're just gonna want to show off the ring. Like They're just gonna want to show off.
Who do you think bought the ring? Because I mean, she technically has more money than he does.
Yeah, but I mean, he's got endorsement. He got money. He got bread.
Yeah, but I mean, like if my wife is Oprah or my girlfriend is Oprah, like crazy. I'm just saying, it's not out of the question here. I mean, if my girlfriend is Oprah and we share a bank account, I mean, it's like who's putting more money in that account? It's probably your money.
You think they share a bank account?
At least one.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Why not? I mean, I don't know how celebrities do things. Maybe not. I don't know, but
I just think, there's like 10 lawyers involved. If that happens, like that's
they had a whole social media team coordinate the proposal and the announcement and what the caption was going to be. Like, it's a different era that we live in for sure. But
I do think he bought the ring with his own money. You have to, like,
That's fair.
Would feel like less of a man if you.
Well, I'll buy the ring. You pay for the wedding. There we go. Fair trade.
He's like, no. With Taylor, you're not paying for the wedding. Your tour is paying for the wedding.
Yeah, really, just like, one stop. Just one stop on the tour is paying for the wedding.
It's like just donate. Think of it as a donation to charity.
Yeah,
the charity is us. Yeah,
exactly. Like we deserve this, boo. Before we get into dad rules, man, let's talk briefly about something that you are obviously way more well versed than me. I'm still a little wet behind the ears when it comes to the combat sports arena, especially as it pertains to the sweet science of boxing. But I defer a lot to you and our friend Tontis about boxing. But I was sitting getting my car regular scheduled maintenance done, and I had some time sitting in the lobby, and so I was watching Netflix, and obviously the Canelo versus Bud Crawford fight is coming up. Ironically enough, the same day that me and Jasmine make it all official. So that's going to be a difficult thing to navigate as we're out celebrating with friends and the fight's going on. But I just wanted to get kind of your thoughts on who you think is going to win the fight. Do you think it's going to be close? Why do you think whoever is going to win the fight? What are your thoughts? Because I know I have some of my own.
So, believe it or not, I have not been as locked in on this as I would like to be. I've been watching from the periphery, I would say. Mm-hmm. But obviously I'm excited about it. Like, I'm a huge Bud Crawford fan. Like, I love Terrence Crawford, man. Like, I think of the fighters of this era, to me, he's the guy that I think will define boxing and like what we think of when we think of like some of the best boxers. Canelo, I've always respected Canelo, but I feel like Canelo strategically sort of crafted his career in a way that Mayweather did toward the end, where it's like, all right, I'm gonna fight you, but like it's like 3 years after I really wanted to see this fight happen. But he's taking challenges. Like, he's gone up in weight. He's fought as many people as he possibly can.
Didn't he lose to like to that Russian dude, the big Russian dude?
Bivol, yeah.
Bivol. Yeah. That's the last time I saw him lose. It might be only the second loss he has in his record, but
third maybe, because I'm pretty sure
the
Mayweather one was the second one. I can't remember off the top of my head.
Okay, all right.
I mean, like he's like if you look at his resume, it's like you look at a bunch of fighters that he's beaten. It's been quality fighters, right? So, I just really like Bud. I watched Bud fight, and I'm just like, this guy is you got guys who are boxers and guys who they learn, they transition. Deontay Wilder, for example, was a football player, transitioned into a boxer.
He's a slugger,
right? Someone like AJ, right? Like, he's a bodybuilder who can box, right? But like in reality, like he probably could have just been a bodybuilder because he's just a physical.
He looks like Adonis, like that. That's what he is. He's an Adonis. In there, so he looks great for the pre-fight press photos. But if you step into the ring against a real nigga,
he can I would say imitate a boxer, right? In a really, really superior way, to the point that he won championships, won belts. But like, I see Terrence Crawford, and I see somebody who's probably been fighting like his entire life, and I know that's like a trope and like a thing, but like, this guy's just a born fighter, he's just and he's just super smart. Like, he's stronger than you think. Like, he has all of these qualities, and this is the biggest fight of his whole life. Like, like the fact that he's taking this fight is crazy because
2 weight classes. He last fought at 154. He's going up to 168.
it's nuts. But you only do that if you're just like, yo, I'll fight anybody.
All
And
right.
like that's the kind of person that I think Terrence Crawford is. He's like, I will fight anybody. Although some may say he could have fought Boots. You know what I'm saying? I would have loved to see that as well.
Who?
Shout out to my man Jerron Boots Ennis from Philly.
Oh, okay. And
He
it's
was
okay.
talking like he ain't know who Boots was. Like we all, if you like boxing, you know who Boots is.
Yeah.
But this is obviously like clearly I'm gonna take this fight. Like this is awesome.
Yeah, you don't turn down the Canelo Alvarez mega fight. And
No,
it is, I mean, like for me, and the thing, like for you, with most things with me in boxing is I float around the periphery, and then once I see a fight that I might like, I might lock in a little bit more. Bud has become like the what Mayweather was for me when Mayweather was in boxing. Well, Bud became, but for different reasons. You know,
yeah,
Mayweather, you go to see the sweet science, you go to see the technician. He can't be touched. How is he going to win this one? Is he going to get us knockout? Probably not. But how is he going to manipulate this fighter, and what's he going to do to get into his head to win this fight in 12 rounds? And then with Bud, it's like you just never know, because that Spence fight was the first fight I went into thinking, all right, maybe. I still picked Bud, but it was out of blind disrespect for Bud. And then you see he beat this shit like dog
yeah,
shit out of Arrow. Like it looked like he didn't belong in that ring.
yeah,
Um, and it was so incredible to see. And like I just knew for me, I'm like I'm not making the mistake of making just the prideful pick with Bud again. It was like when I pick him, it's out of conviction, and I pick him in this fight with conviction and with full understanding that Canelo is probably the first opponent that he's going up against that I really think is real danger of losing. Um, but I don't think that's ever crossed his mind. I think there's a calm about him. There's a certain just mentality that he has, and like you said, the cerebral part of his game is not talked about enough. People think he just goes in there brawling, switching styles, and doing this and that. It was like, well, that gets into your head, because if you want to be such a technician boxer, like, well, it's cool to go in expecting to fight a southpaw or going expecting to fight an orthodox boxer, but if in the middle of my flurry of punches, I pivot one of my feet back and now I'm coming at you southpaw, and then you get me into the corner and I spin out of the corner and now I switch back up to orthodox, like there you can't plan for that while
yeah,
taking punches. So I'm very interested to see the first punch that Canelo lands to the head. What does that do to Bud? How is that going to affect him with as big as Canelo is just naturally walking around weight? And then conversely, if Bud can actually hurt Canelo, if Bud, because I know he can frustrate him, but this isn't a 23-year-old Canelo anymore like he was when he fought Floyd. So I don't think frustration alone is going to win you this fight. You're going to have to hurt him a little bit. So that'll be the interesting test. Can Bud hurt Canelo? And I think that he can. It's just a matter of when.
yeah. That's the thing, right? It's like you've seen other people where it's just like, oh well, the Errol Spence fight, right? Like Errol Spence looks like a much bigger guy, but when they both got in there, you're like, oh, I guess Terrence and him look like they about the same
About the same.
size. Terrence, like arms are longer, right? Like, and the way he was eating him up in the ring, you was just like,
Like I
man,
wanted to
like I
stop the
guess that
fight at
power
home.
is serious.
I was
Yeah,
I
like
was
that.
watching at home like stop getting up. Like, I
Yeah,
need you to
but
stop.
that's been his whole career. I mean, as he's gone up in weight, he's like had moments where it's just like, okay, well, this guy's a little bit bigger than him, and then he just like slapping him around the ring, and you're just like, I guess that doesn't really matter
Yeah.
because he's got power that can, carry weight to weight to weight.
Hmm.
So, I mean, I guess in some ways you could say it's foolish to just expect it because he's going up two weight classes. Like you would think that there's a limit to that.
It
But like I
wasn't for
said, to
Pacquiao. He's
me,
Blackiao.
yeah, I just think he's just a born fighter, man. And like,
Hmm.
you know, again, like you said, Canelo can hurt him because he has the size advantage,
Hmm.
um, and the weight advantage, just like
Natural
as
weight
he's
advantage.
walking
Yeah.
around. So when he rehydrates, he's going to be bigger probably,
Mhm.
um, unless Terrence Crawford's been doing something in the
Weight room.
fields of
Over there.
Nebraska that I don't know
Well, it's
about.
Colorado. His camp is in Colorado Springs, so he'll be out
Yeah,
there
yeah,
probably
yeah.
eating bison and buffalo and shit. But
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? They
you
out there
know,
hunting for food and like
for
just
real,
going crazy.
living the mountaineer life type shit. But I mean, I'm just so excited um to see the fight. I'll watch it on my phone from the VIP section if I have to. But
Okay.
I will be tuned
Flex.
into the fight. Yeah, for sure. Like I have to. And shout out to the to Netflix for making it free and no more pay-per-view type shit. That's awesome. So
You know, that is definitely the upside of Netflix. Although, let's hope too many people don't watch it and it crashes.
no,
Because
I think they fixed it because by the time they had that by the time they had that Chiefs game on there, I think it was like Christmas game, a Chiefs Christmas game on
it
Netflix.
was a
One
little
of that.
choppy, but it's okay.
It's not
Just up
bad.
the bandwidth. Just up the
Yeah.
bandwidth. You might get more people than you think. Netflix.
Right.
That's all I'm
Yeah.
saying.
Well, I think that's the thing. They
Especially because it's
allegedly they
free.
talked to Amazon and asked them
Yeah.
how they did it,
Yeah.
and what made them so successful. And basically, they just was like, look, you got to spend some money.
Yeah.
You got to spend money to make
And
some.
we have the Amazon servers for you to do it. Get that
Speaking of
AWS
servers,
yeah, get that AW. Yeah,
just
I'm
put
sure
it. You just
Amazon
hide
did
it in the
help.
corner, right under the end chiclet. You know what I mean? Just get that little AWS.
Yeah.
Or give us the interlay. On the replay transitions or some shit.
Yeah.
But no, that's awesome. I couldn't go a pod without talking to you about it. I'm sure we'll talk about it again sometime next week. But I had
on
to get
a
out.
similar topic, we got to say RIP to Stream East, man. RIP
Oh,
to
really?
Stream East. Yeah, they got him. I think they were like out of Egypt or something like that. I don't know,
Yeah.
but I saw.
They found the servers. Damn,
Yeah.
yo.
Shout out to the Athletic. They had an article, and I was like, man, I threw that in one of my chats. I was like, because I know that I know for some of
that hurt
us,
a lot of people.
yeah, it's like we
Yeah.
all pretend like we got all this stuff, but like certain things, it's just like,
Nah, them UFC fights was getting
illegally
pricey.
stream this real quick.
You know what? Ruined me? The last UFC fight I paid for was Israel Adesanya's fight where he lost to that racist motherfucker. I paid good
That
money.
could be like 10 people in the UFC, but go ahead.
Well, true. Including Izzy himself, who I think is a Trump supporter. But like
listen,
it's
some of these cats,
it's crazy.
I'm like, all right,
all right,
good thing you can
John
fight,
Bones Jones.
because
Right, you know what I mean?
You could not be talking shit about it.
Looking at you, John Bones Jones. But nah, it was like I paid like I think it was like $70 or $75, something like that, for the fight. My first time like really paying for a big UFC fight or anything, and it wasn't like I was having a party. It was like I paid for it so that I could watch it without having to worry about like ads and clicking through the Stream East and all that shit. I was like, I just want to watch this.
I can afford this.
I want to pay for it to watch it, and then it was like over, and he got knocked the fuck out, and I was like, this is no. Yeah. I didn't pay to watch the oppressors win. I'm not doing that. Not doing that shit no more. not fucking around with UFC. I'm not fucking around with UFC. So like they don't give a fuck about your narratives, dog. This is dog eats dog. You know what I mean?
That's mad funny.
Hell yeah. Man. That's when I made a decision with my life. I was like, nah, I'm not doing that shit no more.
I do remember that happening. Actually, it was MLK weekend. I believe it was Conor McGregor. And
when he snapped his leg?
I was having I think it was that one. I think it was that one. I can't remember. But it was over very quickly. Whatever fight it was over very quickly. And I was slightly disappointed because we waited until like deep into the night to be like, oh yeah, maybe we should buy the fight because McGregor's fighting. And I'm just like, yo, we actually kind of missed the whole card, and I paid $70 to see.
Just one fight to see.
Yeah. Like, I had to watch 30 seconds. And it's bad
on a check leg kick too.
Yeah. It's bad when people look around at you and they be like, dang, yo. Nah, I'll Venmo you, dog. I'm a Venmo. It's like, nah.
It's never coming.
Like,
that Venmo's never coming in, dog.
Not even about that.
It's the principles. You know what I mean? We're trying to do the right thing. This is why we go to Stream East, because we pay for these fights, and then this bullshit happens.
Yeah, and it's great. It's like, it's awesome, but it's like, it's only awesome if you've been watching the whole night.
Exactly.
Just turned it on for that. I remember my dad. He told me a story. Like the 80s Mike Tyson days.
Yeah.
And he bought one of them fights and he went to go take a piss and he came back and the fight was over. And it was like, yo, what happened?
And then you didn't have no TiVo. You couldn't like.
No, you just had to like find out like how maybe
had to
you
watch it on Sports Center like everybody else. Like I paid for the fight and now I gotta watch the highlights just to see what happened.
Tough.
Yeah, that's brutal, man. That's brutal. But yeah, like I'm really looking forward to this fight this weekend, man, or next weekend. It's gonna be a fucking instant classic. But yeah, I got Bud by decision. You're not knocking Canelo out, but I got Bud by decision.
I'm gonna reserve my pick.
Okay, yeah, we'll reserve for next week. I might get a little bit more saucy by next week and call a knockout. But right now, I got Bud by decision. Majority decision, not unanimous, but majority decision.
Oh, you're making it real. Okay, you're getting really in the weeds.
The German judge gave him a 6.8, so but yeah, now to the moment that you've all been waiting for, man. Our favorite moment of the day, dad rules. Um, for this dad rules, I'm gonna circumvent the actual daddy daughter situation and get a little deeper into the wife situation, man. Like this is one I want to dedicate to my future official wife. As we officially cross that bridge and jump that broom next Saturday, September the 13th. It's gonna be, one of the best days of my life next to August 25th, 2023, and it's a day that I didn't think would come. Just like,
Mm,
the birth of my daughter, I didn't know was gonna come. But this was one where I just reserved myself to. Marriage just wasn't a huge deal for me. It wasn't something I really thought about. I had a lot of friends that had gotten married or that, long time relationships and eventually gotten married, yourself included, and things, and you look and you see, like, I don't know. I don't know if that life is going to be for me, or maybe I just haven't found the one. And it turns out to be the latter. I just hadn't found the one yet until Miss Jasmine Nicole came down, and surprised me with everything that she has been, turning our house into a home and everything. So my dad rule, um, for everybody out there listening, all five of y'all out here listening, is when you do find that one, when you do find that person, man, um, don't be scared to take that leap of faith. Don't be afraid um to really put yourself out there. A lot of people go through things in this world that makes them jaded, that changes their opinion on what love is or what love means. I didn't grow up in the nuclear family with the white picket fence and a mom and a dad who stayed married forever.
mm,
My parents had a very ugly divorce, and my biological dad was never married to my mom, so it was a very mixed and type of thing. And I've never really seen in my own family a successful marriage last, until my aunt Missy and Uncle Trevin, really. So for me, it's important to be that, for the generations that come after me. But it was even more important for me that I recognize that in another person, when they come into your orbit. And I will never forget making the decision that I was going to put myself out there. Back when me and Jasmine were still just kind of messing around as like friends with benefits ish. Was like summer, like 2022, something like that, and just standing in the alley at the Red Lobster that we work at, and I'm just looking. I'm like, I think my GM at the time said, "Man, Jasmine gonna make somebody very happy one day. She's gonna be
mm,
a great wife." And I was like, "Why not me?" You know.
mm.
And that's the first time I really just that little spark hit, and I was like, if you wait, someone else is gonna realize what you already knew, and then you're gonna be salty. So didn't want that to happen to me. But that's my dad rule for the week.
That
But
is
for
a
you,
great dad rule.
thank you,
That's a
brother.
great dad rule, bro. And obviously, I'm excited for you too. Uh, as you welcome me into dadhood, I welcome you to husbandom. I'm just making
Thank
up
you,
these
brother.
words. I actually don't know if they're real words.
I feel like it's a
Uh,
word because we said it on
yeah,
air,
yeah, yeah,
so
yeah, yeah. I said it
that
with
makes it a
confidence.
word.
I said it with confidence. I shouldn't have doubled back on it. Um, but yeah, I like it's definitely an interesting life transition, an important one. Obviously you guys have been doing a good amount of the stuff that you'll do as a married couple already, especially as parents. So, but it's I remember my wife and I's wedding day, best day ever, man. We just had such a good time. Good being around people you love, celebrating all day, just like enjoying the day. Like that's what I really remember. So I hope that you guys get um, the same feelings and you know, um, just do it up, man. 24 hours. Like I didn't want to go to sleep. I was up. I
Yeah,
was wired. I
like
was
that's the
like,
thing. So we,
let's.
we wanted to
It's
keep
four
it
o'clock. Like let's do something else. It's like, yo, dude, it's actually torrential downpouring
right.
down
Well,
there.
that's
So
what
we.
it is. Like I only have one off day all next weekend because it's my GM's birthday weekend, so he's gonna be out of town. So it was hard for me to even get that day, but we had pushed it back so many different times to try and accommodate different family members. Usually, mostly on my side of the family, to be honest with you. So finally, it got to a point where I was just fed up with the whole process. I was like, "Yo, we're doing this date.
Yeah.
And it's not moving off of that date. Like this is when we're gonna do it. And
Yeah.
I don't care about by hook or by crook. That's when we're gonna get it done. But it was always gonna be like a low key ceremony. Originally, it was gonna be like a justice of the peace thing, and family members got involved and wanted to be a little bit more. So we kind of met in the middle a little bit. The real party, we're planning on doing like a vow renewal type of deal in 4 to 5 years. and that
Hey,
serving as the actual wedding thing where people come and it's a party and we do the first dances and everything because
yeah,
that stuff is still important too. You got people want to toast you. There are traditions that go on at weddings that we want to be a part of too, that we want to have, and memories we want to share from that day. But right now, the most important thing is making sure that we lock in and solidify that everybody under this house, under this roof, is a Hilton, and that we locked in for the long haul. So,
yeah,
yeah, that Saturday is going to be about family and fellowship, and you and so many of my other friends, Nigel and Maurice and Jason and Terrell and all these other people, Tontis, all part of that journey for me. So, um, not only is this a thank you and an appreciation for you guys, but like in a couple years when we can party it up, man, like the real way, the right way, how we want to, it's gonna be a whole nother movie. We're gonna really get it done. So, I'm looking forward to all of that, everything that's to come.
yeah, bro. I'm happy for you, man. I'm excited to see you live in the moment. I think my dad rule is, I guess it's a little less about the nuts and bolts of parenting and really just sort of the journey of it. Um, so my dad rule is let it all work out. I feel
Shout out
like
to Wayne.
I feel like this year really has been sort of I mean, really been more than a year, but definitely this year has been an eye opening experience for me. Have so many different things that I wouldn't have expected, or maybe I should have expected, or things that you see happen to other people and it happens to you, and you're like, oh wow, like how do I deal with this thing that's so brand new and so different? And in the middle of that, of all of these things happening in my own life, it's like you still have to be a parent. You still have to sort of, you know, tend to things in that way. And of course, you get worried as a parent, way more than I was ever worried as a single person. Like when I was a single person, I was just moving around, just like, oh man, like whatever.
You know what I mean? Yeah. It's
Straight
like
up.
each day you
What?
wake up, it's like, oh, what the fuck did I
Exactly. It's
just,
like, yeah, the world is full of opportunities. The world is
yeah.
just my
It's
oyster.
like a game of improv. You're just yes anding everything. It was like yes
It's
and,
straight up.
you know what I mean? And then,
Straight up. And it's
figure it
great.
out.
And that, that's awesome. But it's also nice to be, in charge of something, and you have responsibilities, and like getting your kids to daycare. It's like it's become a thrill for me now, mostly because usually we're late, and I'm like, how late can I possibly be without actually really being late? But it's like, oh man, still made it by 8:40. It's great.
Got it.
because I
You
really
know what
because
I
I
mean?
really chanced it today.
What's the cutoff? 8:45?
Nah, it's like 9 o'clock, but
Oh yeah, I was no, ours is the same thing. So I was wondering if that's just like a universal thing. Because like
well,
one time I
let's be
I
honest.
got
If
there
I
like right at 9:01 because the light took like the person that had me on the light like didn't
Yeah,
take the light, so I
yeah,
ended up being stuck there for an extra 4 or 5 minutes and missed the cutoff time by a minute. But luckily, the lady up front, shout out to Dr. Marsha, let us come in like a minute late, but not without a light scolding at least.
yeah. But it's like, what you really going? You gonna send me
Like
back to my car with a child in my hand? Like, you
it's
gonna take
crazy.
this
You know what I'm
baby?
saying? Like
you
no,
gonna
you
take this baby?
for over 1 minute, over 60
Yeah,
seconds. So we
yeah.
we really but we
You
about to
gonna
box
ruin
over
you
60
gonna
seconds.
ruin her future
Like
because you mad
damn,
at me?
you gonna just put her in the streets? You gonna put her in the streets?
But yeah, man, like it's really crazy seeing everything, and I looking at where the year will end up versus where the year started for me. Um, I'm just like, if I could say something to myself back in January, it's just like, yo, man, let it all work out. Like you, you can't control everything, and things are just gonna happen, and you don't expect them, and good things are gonna happen that you don't expect to, right? Like that's basically life in a nutshell. So that to all my new dads where you're maybe dad's on the way. Um, hey man, don't stress about it, man. Let it all work out.
That's a fact, man. Like there's really nothing much else to say beyond that. That's a beautiful way to summarize all of parenthood for real. And even me being like a year ahead of you, is like there's still so much that you continue to learn. Like, okay, have I been through like the 1-year-old phase? Am I in the terrible two phase? Yeah. So I can probably speak to that stuff, but I don't know what it's like. Your kid's first time going into grade school as opposed to
Mm-hmm.
daycare, or what's their
Mm-hmm.
first time having like real homework, or their first friend, or the first time that their friend betrays them, their first crush, the first thing. There's so many more firsts that you have to go through
Yeah.
as a parent, and you can't be prepared for all of it. first time they get hurt. Like there's just too many to really list, and like I'm just excited to get to experience all that, and even more so to be able to do that with somebody on my side who has been through those things as a black woman. I think that was very important for me, and somebody who's just opinion and the way that they walk through life I respect, even as somebody who is a good deal younger than I am. The level of maturity that Jasmine has, and you just see the things that she pours into Arya. I was like, all you hear about when you have kids is like, oh, she's gonna be a daddy's girl. She's gonna be a daddy's girl. Arya loves her dad. I ain't shit. When mom in the room, it's over with. Like it's
Yeah.
just no. It's times where she won't even want to kiss me goodnight or give me a hug goodnight because mommy's already holding her. And she's like, no, and she's very mean about it. It's like not. It's so matter of fact too. You want to give daddy a hug? No. Let's
I'm good.
go. Off with you into the bedroom. Let's go.
Close the door behind you.
Bye, peasant.
Isn't there a sporting event on? Like, whoa, where'd you learn that one?
Would you want to watch some 6 foot Neanderthal hit a baseball or something or whatever it is that you do? But no, it's been just a distinct pleasure having the privilege of being a father and being able to do it and go through it at similar parts in our lives as some of my friends like yourself and Jason, who just welcomed his baby boy not too long ago, and my boy Terrell, who's a couple of months ahead of us, Yao, Jervs, a couple of people we had on here, Nigel, whose son's about to be one very very soon, and you know what I'm saying. There's just so many of our friends that are going through fatherhood at different times in their lives, but we're all relatively around the same bit. So it's been great to have that kind of brotherhood and camaraderie. And yeah, like you said, anybody that's about to go through it, anybody that's getting into it now, relatively new to it, doesn't know if they want that in their life. If you don't, that's fine. It's okay. But if you are so privileged and it is something that you want is to become a father or to become a parent, just understand that you can't control really anything. Um, you just have to. The best ones are the ones that can roll with the punches and still come out on top. So
Well said, bro. Well said.
yeah, man. Well, like we said, we appreciate everybody for holding it down. I know we said we weren't going to keep you that long. We still found a way to make it to an hour. So shout out to y'all.
Listen, man, that's what it
But
is.
man, that's what we do, man. We always find a way. We can always find a way to get there. But yeah, man, happy NFL season, the beginning of the NFL season. All of my fans out there that's holding out hope for your teams to make the playoffs. Let that shit go. Just enjoy it week by week. Because if you are hoping that your team makes the playoffs, it probably means that you're not gonna make it. So I just want you to go in there with that kind of Machiavellian belief and then be surprised when it does happen. That's the best part. They're like, oh, I didn't have very high hopes for this season, but now looking back and we're 10-7, looking at a wild card berth, this is great. It just feels so much better that way. Trust me.
I think what you're trying to say is high hopes, low expectations.
Oh, I like that. I
Yeah,
like that better.
yeah.
That sounds a lot more like you have a lot more hope behind that. So this is 2.5 decades of Raider fandom that's just beating me to shit. So like
Yeah,
you'll excuse some of the darkness.
yeah. Yours is a little dark.
Excuse some of the dark. They haven't beaten it out of me yet this season, but I've come to realize that it's going to happen at some point. It's just about when,
Well,
really.
I have it
So,
tied in fantasy, so let's hope that his season is awesome.
hey
I have
man,
actually
Brock
high
Bowers, the goat,
expectations for him.
the goat.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, we appreciate everybody for rocking with us, man. And again, major shout out to Jeremy for
Yes.
hopping on with you last week. Hopefully we can get him on again at least one more time throughout the season to kind of do a quick fantasy check-in and update and everything like that. But we appreciate everybody for rocking with us here on the No Rules Podcast. Peace.
Peace, y'all.